Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that moment you've all been waiting for. It is the Talents episode. Mulgore here. Thank you for watching. This is episode 8 of our tutorial, our Vanilla WoW tutorial, where we're going through how Vanilla works, how it's played, how to make yourself a better player, how to get yourself back into it if it's been a long time, or how to play if you've never played before. If you're coming from retail, if you only experienced the current World of Warcraft, it's a much different game back in the day. So, without further ado, let's get started. In our last episode, we ended with me basically hitting level 10. And after hitting level 10, there are two things that happen. One is we get our talents. Okay, we are able to learn new talents. Two, we're able to go to weapon masters and train in different weapons. And three, this is warrior specific, but we get a new stance. So this is only going to apply to warriors. I'm going to go through it very quickly. Warriors have three stances that they can fight in. Each of those stances roughly corresponds to one of the three talent trees. Battle stance roughly corresponds to the arms talent tree, which is here, arms. Defensive stance roughly corresponds to the protection talent tree, and then we don't have it yet, but berserker stance corresponds with the fury protection tree. Okay, so when I want to just randomly solo throughout the world, and I'm not tanking, I want to be in for most examples, I want to be in battle stance. Battle stance is the damage stance right now for us. It accentuates with two-handed weapons and allows us to use things like thunderclap and charge. Okay, stances again are warrior specific, so this is not going to apply for any other class. But so that's why I'm going to go through it really quick. Unless you're rolling a warrior, just don't pay attention to this. I'm going to go through it very quickly. Stances allow us to change our damage output and our defense capabilities. Okay, so if you're running around with a two-handed weapon, or if you're just running around with weapons in general at this level, you want to roll around with battle stance. If you want to tank an instance, guys, and you're using a shield and a one-handed weapon, you want to move into defensive stance. Defensive stance lets us use abilities like Sunder Armor, which are only available in defensive stance. Actually, that's not true. Sunder Armor can be used in any stance. So I actually put Sunder Armor down on our arms bar too. Sunder Armor, though, it creates a lot of threat, which is how we get aggro on monsters. I'll explain threat when we go into actual tanking. It uses Sunder Armor and Taunt, which Taunt is an ability that lets us, like, say a monster is attacking one of our friends. If we taunt that monster, it is now attacking us. So we're taking that damage away from our friends. Things like Taunt can only be used in defensive stance. Things like Charge and Thunderclap can only be used in battle stance. Okay? That's just the way it is, because they're damage output abilities. I wish Thunderclap was available for defensive stance, because it's a way to get AoE threat, but no big deal. That's just the way it is. So if you see me running around in the world, I'm going to be usually wearing this. If I'm tanking an instance, I'm going to be using defensive stance. If I'm doing damage in an instance, I'll be in battle stance. Does that make sense? Okay. Really quick, one more thing I wanted to go over is that, see on your action bar here, you have your abilities going from 1 through whatever, 1 through 0, and then middle, and then I have the other two over here. If you want, guys, for whatever reason, say you want a different setup, Warcraft offers an additional action bar, so this is action bar 2. So these arrows here let you cycle through 1 and 2. I don't have anything in my number 2 action bar, and I probably never will. But for some reason, let's say, here's a good example. Let's say you're a shaman, okay? And shamans have the capability of healing. You may want to set action bar 1 for when you're soloing in the world and you want to do damage, but your action bar 2 may be set up so that you can do your healing spells. So it's just a way for you to quickly switch in between different setups. So that's just something I wanted to cover that I did not cover in previous things. So before we get into talents, I want to run into and visit our weapons trainer that's in Undercity, and then we can talk about weapon training. If you watched last episode, you'd know that, what is this? Oh, this is Turnus Menethil's grave. Nice. Anyway, he was Arthas' father. Arthas killed him before he became the Lich King. We'll talk about lore other times, but not right now. There's a lot to cover today. So, if you briefly remember from last episode, Weapon Masters are NPCs in major cities that will train us to use different weapons. Okay? There's weapon masters in every major city, including alliance cities, of course. And I believe the weapon master for Undercity's in the War Quarter, which kind of makes sense. So we'll go to Blue, which is the War Quarter. And these, for a price, for a nominal fee of 10 silver, which is kind of high, we can learn how to use different weapons. So I only have 35 copper, so I can only get 3 new weapon skills. So I want to see what this guy actually offers before I actually go in and spend any money. And then we'll go into talents, which I haven't spent my first talent point yet, so you guys can see how it's done. So, that's not him, he should be right here. Yeah, this is a weapon master, okay? Archibald. So we talked to him. I suppose you're here to be trained in the use of a new weapon. Make it fast, I'm very busy. So we hit train me. The only thing we can learn from this guy is crossbows. Because we don't need to learn other weapon skills because we're undead. We already have two-handed swords, daggers, and swords. An orc would benefit much more going to this trainer because he would be able to teach them how to use swords. They don't know how to use swords when they're first created. So we're actually not going to spend the 10 copper. Instead, we're actually going to take a little trip to Orgrimmar, and we're going to see what we can do. Because I want to use this gun I picked up, guys. I want to use it as a... and I'm really hating myself for selling those maces I picked up. Anyway, this guy's a gold spammer. Welcome to Chronos 2 PvP realm. Hope you enjoy your stay, and if you need gold, please visit www.nos100.com. This guy is not. It may sound like he's part of the Chronos team. He is not. This is a gold farmer, guys. I'm actually going to report him for spam. I can't. Anyway, he's a gold farmer. Don't fall for these traps. No one in the Chronos team will ever ask for your password, for your account information. Never give it to anyone. Okay, guys? Real quick, I want to see if there's any cheap weapons. I am really tempted to buy this. There's a lot more damage than our two-handed weapon. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna pick. No. Ooh, this is a tough one. Yeah, I'm gonna pick this up. So what I just did, guys, if you notice, what I did is I bought out that weapon. So now we're gonna run up to the top over here. And in our mailbox now, we'll be waiting for us a new sword. Mailbox. Over. Oh, kind of went the wrong way. Where's the mailbox? Oh, let's just keep running around. We'll get to it. Here it is over here. By this awesome orc warrior over here with a mount. I wish I had a mount. So if you notice here, here's our sword. So we're going to click it. We're going to click this icon here. And now our sword's in our inventory. So I'm going to equip that sword. Equipping this item will bind to you. Remember this, guys, this is bind on equip. If you don't know what this means, please refer to one of my earlier episodes when I talked the difference between bind on equip and bind on pickup. Basically, once I equip this sword, I can never sell it to a player again. I can only sell it to a vendor. So I can't sell this back in the auction house once I equip it. So we're going to equip it, and then I'm going to put my shield on, and then we're going to go over here and dump the stuff we don't need anymore. So I don't need this old shield anymore. Old sword again, sorry. I don't need this anymore either. Okay, I'll put my gun up here for now, and mild spices. So we've actually cleared some inventory space too. I'm going to dump this fishing pole in my bank. I'm not going to be using it. I just wanted to show you what fishing was. So we'll go in here, right-click, dump it in our bank, and then we'll move on. So now I'm doing some more damage. Not only does this do 5.5 DPS, which our two-handed sword did 3 DPS. It actually does more base DPS, but it also gives us 1 strength. And strength increases attack power. So not only does it increase DPS, but also it gives an enchantment to even give it more attack power. So, again, if you want to see how that works, refer to an earlier video where I actually pick up a green and show you how the difference in DPS. Alright, so I'm not sure why this is red. So I need to do some training in swords here, guys. If you see, that's probably why it's red. My sword skill's really, really low. My two-handed sword skill's 48. I gotta work this sword up a little bit before I start using it. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking a Zeppelin over to Orgrimmar, and I'm actually gonna buy a weapon skill. I think if guns isn't available in Orgrimmar, I'm going to be a little peeved, but that's okay. I'll get something else. I'll pick up like axes or something to show you what I mean. Oh, the Orgrimmar Zeppelin just arrived. Perfect timing. So it should not leave before we get up to the top of this tower. Head up the steps. Okay, there's the Orgrimmar Zeppelin. We're going to jump on real quick. We made it. Awesome. Hey, Mr. Shaman. So if you right-click on select a character, right-click and inspect, you can actually look at his gear. So this guy's wearing cloth shoulders. That's just because he couldn't find anything better. It's a pretty crappy cloak. He's got a nice leather, so 2 agility, 1 stamina. That's kind of nice for a shaman because it increases critical strike and increases hit points. So he's got it enchanted. So whenever you see something with, see it says stamina +1, he had that bracer enchanted by an enchanter, so it actually gives him more stamina. Enchanters can enchant stuff. He's got a +1 strength axe, which is kind of nice. Shield that gives 2 strength. So he's got some nice gear. So you can always look at another character's gear just to see how they equip their character, so you can kind of understand. If this was a warrior, I'd like to compare what he's wearing. So you can always inspect other characters. I love this guild name. You think you do, but you don't. It's great. So back in BlizzCon a few years back, a person asked, "Hey, can we get legacy servers?" So basically, like Chronos, but endorsed by Blizzard. And I forget the guy's name, but one of the guys was like, "You think you want that, but you don't." And it's just really funny because if you look at the server populations of Nostalrius and now Chronos, it's obvious that a lot of people do want it. So he's effectively an idiot, this guy. Excuse me 1 second, guys. Sorry, wind blew my door open. Anyway, so now we're heading to Orgrimmar. And what I'll probably do, guys, is I'll get weapon training in Org, and then on my run, and then I have a really bad feeling that guns are not available. So I may get 1 training in Orgrimmar, and then I may actually run the entire distance to Thunder Bluff. That's okay. While we're running, we can talk about talents, so it actually will work out perfectly. And we'll also get to run the Thunder Bluff together, which is kind of cool. So I'll show you how to get the Thunder Bluff from Orgrimmar. Once we discover Thunder Bluff, we can actually fly from Orgrimmar to Thunder Bluff. So this is actually really beneficial for me later in the game, so I'll never have to make this run again. And we can use a flight path for the first time too. Perfect. This is going to work out. I don't plan any of this stuff ahead, guys, so it's really great when things work out. So this is our first time running into Orgrimmar. This is the main city for the Horde. The orcs and the trolls call this city their home. And I remember my first time ever seeing this. Hearing the drums and seeing this. This is Orgrimmar. This is the capital city of the Horde. Awesome, awesome place. The bank is here. The auction house is over this way. There's an inn over here, just in case you ever want to make it your Hearthstone. And then we're going to run... so Orgrimmar is usually always busy, guys. It's really awesome. There's always people here. It's much more populated than Undercity is. I'd say Undercity is probably the second most populated city, where Thunder Bluff is actually the least most populated city, in my experience. Alright, so we're running through the Drag right now. The Drag is a section of Orgrimmar. It's a darker section, just less light. It's always pretty cool running through here. And now we're going into the Valley of Wisdom? No. Valley of Honor, I think. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, Valley of Honor, okay. Alright. When we go into PvP, I'll talk about this building here. It's a way for us to queue in the battlegrounds. But Kronos is a built-in way to queue in the battlegrounds. We'll talk about that later. Let's not even confuse people. Battlegrounds are PvP instances. And I'll talk about what an instance is. Actually, if I have time in this episode, I'll talk to you what that is. There's our mining. Actually, might make some copper bars while I'm here, too. Because there's a forge right back here, if my memory serves me correctly. Yes, there is right here. And an anvil. So we'll create these copper bars, get some skill up points. Alright, cool. So that's done. Now we can go to Weapon Master, Weapon Trainer. Okay, there are two weapon trainers in Orgrimmar. The Orc one and the Troll one. So the Troll one offers one-handed axes, bows, staffs, throwing weapons, and two-handed axes. And then the Orc also offers one... Oh, they offer the same ones. Interesting. I'm going to pick up one-handed axes, guys. I think I'm going to come across them more frequently in the game than I'm going to come across other things. So I'm gonna get that. I won't get bows. I'll go to Thunder Bluff and get guns so we can use our gun. So that's one thing I'll get. I don't have enough gold to get more stuff. I really wish I could, but I just don't. See if I can vendor some things while I'm here. If I can make another silver, there's no way. But I'll just try to get some stuff out of my inventory that I don't need. So I don't need these. I need all that stuff. Yeah. There's really nothing else I can sell. Oh well. That's fine. Alright. So, that was a brief introduction to Orgrimmar. My apologies. We won't be able to see the entire city. It's much bigger than what we've seen. But just so you know, that's what the Weapon Master is back here in the back of the Valley of Honor. And apparently you can talk to either the Troll or the Orc, and they offer the same stuff. So... Alrighty. Now we're going to make our way back to the front gates again, and we're going to run out of the front gates, and we're going to go through Dorotar into the Baron. Wait, where am I? Yeah, through Dorotar into the Barrens and into Mulgore, where Thunder Bluff is. So it's a pretty long run, but while we're running, we can talk about talents, and I'll start talking about them as soon as we leave the front gate. So now I can use one-handed axes, which is pretty cool. I eventually want to get one-handed maces. I've decided that I want to level. I'm going to level Fury. So Fury is you can use two one-handed weapons. Okay. And actually, I just realized something really stupid of me. I want to see if I can buy back that sword that I sold. Why can't I see it? Well, there's a one-handed sword, so I don't want this two-handed sword. I'll get rid of that. I want to see if I can equip both real quick. No, not yet. Apparently I cannot dual wield yet. I'll keep this in my inventory until I can dual wield. At a certain level, warriors can dual wield, which means they can hold two one-handed weapons at a time. Actually, I have the wrong sword equipped. Okay, there we go. I want to think level 15 is when you can start dual wielding. I don't exactly remember, but we'll find out. First thing we need to do, guys, is we need to discover the flight path in Orgrimmar. We can't fly from Thunder Bluff back to Orgrimmar if we don't have the flight path for Orgrimmar. Does that make sense? So we actually have to discover it. Orcs and trolls start with this flight path discovered because they're from this city. Just like I start with the flight path to Undercity. I don't need to learn that flight path because I already know it. Whenever an NPC has a green exclamation point on top of them, that's a flight path. Just talking to them lets you discover the flight path. And if I say I need a ride, it says you don't know any flight locations connected to this one, which is true, I don't. But we're going to learn one. We're actually going to learn 3 on our run. So that'll be kind of cool. So I'm going to jump down here. Hopefully I don't die. Nope, I made it. So we discovered that. Okay, let's talk about talents. Okay, every class in the game, I've said this probably 10 times, has 3 talent trees. For warriors, the 3 talent trees are arms, fury, and protection. You can put points into any one of those trees you want, and you can put points anywhere you want. However, there's a rhyme and a reason to what skills you want to do. Okay? Let's go to the Fury tree. That's where I'm going to start. I can put my first point in the first tier. Each of the levels are considered tiers. So in Fury, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiers. Okay? You can't get to the next tier unless you spend 5. Usually, spend 5 talent points in the first tier, in the tier subsequent to it. Okay? So for my first talent point, I'm on a level Fury. So I want to pick one of these 2. So the first one is increases the area of effect of your duration of your battle shout and demoralizing shout, which we don't have yet, by 10%. That means whenever I use battle shout, the radius of the circle increases and lets other and it affects more units. Demoralizing shout affects enemy units and lowers their attack power, while Battle Shout affects friendly units and increases their attack power. So, if I put points in this, the radius of the circle of my area of effect of those Battle Shouts is increased. Let's see the other option. The other option is Cruelty. Increases your chance to get a critical strike with melee weapons. That, to me, guys, is a much more beneficial thing to put talent points in. Okay? I'm going to put 1 in here. I've spent my first talent point. It's very important to realize, guys, once you click this, you cannot unclick it. It is gone. You've spent that talent point. The only way you can ever get it back is if you go to your class trainer and tell them that you want to reset your talent tree. It'll reset every single point, not just the points you just spent. Okay? And to make matters worse, it costs gold. And it subsequently increases in gold how many times you do it, to a maximum of 1 gold each time. So you don't want to screw up, basically. But you know what, guys? It's your first time playing the game, and you may screw up. It's okay. But try to really think about and sit there and say, which one of these talents are going to be most beneficial to me? For me, I want to crit more. I want to do more damage. I'm leveling right now. I'm not in dungeons and raids. I don't really care about this at the moment. This may become important later in the game, but not right now. If you notice, the next tier down, it says requires 5 points in the Fury talents. You don't have to put any points in this at all. You don't have to fill up a tier, guys. You don't have to. Okay? It's very important for me to stress is that don't put points in stuff you don't need because you think you have to. You do not have to. You don't have to put points in a lot of things in here. Another thing I want to stress is that you don't have to put all the points in the degree that you're majoring in. Let's look at it this way. Let's pretend you're in college, and let's say that my warrior's in college. He's in warrior college, and he's majoring in fury. He can minor in arms and protection. You don't have to just put all of your points in fury. You start earning talent points at level 10. That means that there are essentially 51 talent points that you'll get while you level to 60. They don't all have to be in fury at all. And most talent trees that are good, most talent builds, not talent trees, talent builds that are viable have points in either 2 or all 3 talent trees. Okay? But remember, for the most part, you're going to major. Your major will be one of these talent trees. One of these 3. And you'll have a minor, either 1 minor or 2 minors. So it's like saying, hell, I'm an English major, but I have a minor in art, and I have a minor in philosophy. Or I'm an English major and just have a minor in art. It depends. So now we've entered the Barrens real quick. This is another zone. We've left Dorotar, and now we're in the Barrens. This is the second horde. This is like the orc and troll equivalent of Silverpine Forest. This is their second place. Anyway, let's get back to talents. So yeah, there are 3 talent trees, like I said. And you're usually going to pick one of these talent trees as your major talent tree. I'm going to pick Fury. It doesn't mean I can't tank. It just means I can't tank as well if someone is putting a lot of points in the protection tree. When I hit level 60, I'm going to respec and I'm going to become chiefly a tank. That's the role I want to play. Remember, this is a role-playing game, so you have to choose your role. Do you want to be a damage dealer, or do you want to be a tank? If you're a warrior, of course. Those are the 2 options. Do you want to do damage with 2 one-handed weapons? That's the Fury. Or do you want to do damage with a really big, slow 2-handed weapon? That's arms. Okay? So what role do you want to play? So you have a lot of leeway with your talents, and this is something that, unfortunately, retail got rid of. And retail has created pretty much very, very minimal options in what you can make your character. In Vanilla WoW, you had the world pretty much to change. I could put 20 points in here, 20 points in arms. I can put the remaining 11 in Fury and make this really weird hybrid warrior build, but that's okay. If that's what you want to do, and if you think that's cool and viable, then do it. I'm not saying you're going to be the best damage dealer in the world or the best tank in the world, but if you're happy, then it's okay. I don't care. It's not going to affect me. You know what I mean? However, guys, I do want to say, if you want to be a top raider or top PvP player, you may want to look on the forums online and really think about what really good players are doing in their talent trees. Okay? There's a rhyme and reason to putting points in everything. And sometimes you may not even fill up some of these things. I have to fill up cruelty because I won't be able to go down any further. But there may be, you want to pay, there may be builds where you put 1 point in this and 4 points in this. You don't have to max out a icon. Okay? And the next thing I want to cover is that, when you go to your class trainers, they're offering you. Let me just make sure I'm going the right way. Yeah, to go south. They're offering you a bunch of abilities that every warrior gets to train, no matter what their specialization is, no matter what their major is. They get to learn those abilities. What talent trees offer you eventually are abilities that only that major gets. See this ability in Rage? That ability is not learned by any warrior unless they train it through their talent system. You can't go to a warrior trainer and say, hey, I want to learn in Rage. You can't. You have to. Only way you can ever learn it, actually, this is not a good example. A good example would be Bloodthirst. Okay, Bloodthirst is an actual spell. You can't learn that spell in a warrior trainer. You just can't. You can't do it. The only way you'll ever learn this spell is if you actually make it all the way down to the Fury, down to it in the Fury tree. Okay? See how this requires 1 point in Death Wish, which is this one here, and 30 points in Fury talents. You have to put in 31 points essentially, or 30 points to even get this opportunity, to get this ability. And for the most part, in every class, at the end of their talent tree, the terminal part of their talent tree, there's a spell that only that talent tree gets. Shield Slam is it for protection, and for arms it's the Mortal Strike. Okay, these spells down here are only available if you go make your way all the way down the talent tree. Okay, so here we're in the Crossroads. This is a major hub for Horde. It connects a lot of different things. It connects Thunder Bluff, Orgrimmar. It connects all these different places. You'll be here a lot. Even at high level, you'll probably run through the Crossroads a lot. It's also a really big hotspot for PvP. Alliance will sometimes routinely invade here. Just look at how many people are flying in and out of this place. Just to give you an idea, right? It's a huge hub. It's a huge hub. So, again, we're going to click our Flight Master. And now notice when it says I need a ride, we can now fly back to Orgrimmar if we wanted to, for 1 silver. I don't have that kind of gold, and I'm not going to spend it. But I could essentially fly all the way back if I wanted to Orgrimmar. So now we've actually had our first flight path. Just kind of cool. So we're going to make our way to Thunder Bluff now. But before that, I want to make sure I'm actually going in the right direction. So Mulgore is here, so we're going to go south still. So the talent system, again, you know, make sure you're putting your points where you want to put them, okay? Don't put them in things that you don't want, because you're going to have to pay money to reset your talent calculator, your talent trees. There are a lot of things online, guys, called talent calculator sites where you can go. There used to be a lot when Vanilla was live, but since Vanilla isn't live anymore and only in private servers, they're going to be a little bit harder to find. But there's websites where you can tool around with this without costing you any. You can do it on a website, not screw up your character, and see how you get to certain things. Once you click that button, there's no undo button. In later versions of WoW, there was like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" There's none of that in Vanilla. Once you click that button the first time, you're done. That point is allocated. You can't ever get it back unless you pay someone to pay your class trainer to reset it. So talents literally give you an opportunity to create the character you want and fulfill the role in this game that you want. You know, for hybrid classes like shamans or paladins, or you're going to have a lot more options like healing and stuff like that. So each class has very, very different options. This is only for warrior. Arms, fury, and protection are only for warrior. There is a protection free for paladins, but it's much different. It's called protection, but the skills are very, very different inside. There's also this cool artwork that goes with each one. Like protection has this really big castle, like a defense, hard to kill. Fury has like this fire moving around a mountain, and arms has like a sword into a stone, and just these artwork they put behind them are really, really cool too. So I'm gonna check my map real quick. We're actually gonna run down to Camp Tarajo, which is another city right here, and get another flight path, and then we're gonna run into Mulgore, and then finally we're gonna get Thunder Bluff. Trying to think if I've missed anything. Remember, you still have to go to your class trainer to learn your class-specific abilities. Don't think since now you have your talent tree, you can not go train. You still have to train every 2 levels, guys. You still have to do that. This is just an additional thing you have to worry about. Every single level you get 1 point to spend. Those points never go away. They never expire. So if you forget a level to put a point in, when you get the next level, you'll have 2 points. So you don't lose that point ever. Let's say I leveled to level 11 and totally forgot to allocate one of my points, and then I leveled to level 12, and I said, "Oh, I have to put a point in." There'll be 2 here, not 1. There'll be 2 points to spend, because you don't ever lose your points. So for my warrior, I'm probably going to go my 5 points in the cruelty, and then I'm probably going to go to Unbridled Wrath, which gives you an 8% chance to generate an additional rage point when you deal damage. So that's great. And when the first point I get 8%, and then the next point will be 16%, and it keeps going up and up and up. Like here, as you see, the next rank. So right now I get a 1% chance to crit bonus. The next point I put in there, I get another percent. So when I'm done this, I'll have 5% crit base without any gear. Okay, so that's a huge increase in my crit chance. 5% base, not counting any agility I get from gear. So yeah, improves chance to score critical strike. So agility, will give me crit chance. It'll also give me armor for my tank, so it's a pretty good talent to have. So we're making our way to Camp Tarajo. Notice I'm staying on the roads. Why? Because that's a level 18 raptor, and he would destroy me. So if we click on him, guys, see how the 18 is that deep red color? Yeah, we don't want to screw with him. So I'm staying on the roads here. This area is actually well above my level. So just wanted to see what that was. I wonder how much he wants for that. That's kind of nice. So I'm pretty sure that's basically the whole thing. I mean, you know, I'm probably going to level Fury, and then once I get to max level Fury, I'll probably go into Arms and fill up my minor, would be Arms. And I'll fill up some things, like Improved Rend would be nice. Improved Heroic Strike maybe would be nice. Improved Charge. All these things will be beneficial to me in the long run. So we'll think about that later. So this is Camp Tarajo. I'm going to run through here. It's a little bit quicker. Hopefully I don't aggro anything. That should be fine. So the Barrens is kind of cool. It's like kind of like an African savanna feel. As you can see, a giraffe running around in these flat-looking trees, and so the world's a lot more different than just Tirisfal Glades. It's not just that. I wonder if let's see if I can skin these things, but they're too high level anyway. Okay. So Camp Tarajo also has a flight master, which is over here. So we're going to learn our flight path there too. So I actually have some good flight paths for the Kalimdor continent already at the start, when we're only level 10, which is kind of cool. So I'll grab this one, and then, you know, I can also fly back to Orgrimmar from here. But as you notice, I have to fly through the Crossroads and then fly to Orgrimmar, so it actually tacks on the cost of flying to Crossroads. So flying to the Crossroads from here is going to cost me 1 silver, 10 copper, but then flying to Orgrimmar will also cost me another 1 silver, 10 copper. So it actually tacks on the amount. So the longer you fly, the more money it's going to cost you. So just keep that in mind as well. And if it's not too expensive, flying from Thunderbluff to Orgrimmar, I'll actually fly and show you what flying looks like. We'll see how much it's going to cost me, though. If it's going to cost me like 5 silver, I'm not going to do it, because then I'll have like nothing, but we'll see. But the good news is we're actually starting to get more light leather, and we're actually starting to get more copper, so maybe I'll be able to like sell some stuff on the auction house and actually make some gold finally. That'd be nice, because I'm broke. Like, really broke. So now we're running into Mulgore. This is the starting zone for the Tauren. So just like Duratar, that red place where Orgrimmar is the starting zone for the Orcs and Trolls. Now we're running into these green fields, or the starting zone for the Tauren. So this is kind of like the Tauren version of Tirisfal Glades. So the Barons, Mulgore, and Duratar are all green for us. They're all Horde controlled. So we don't have to worry about Alliance trying to kill us. So that's always great. Oh, nice skinning. Always nice. Oh, lots of skinning. I'll take it all. We're about to get our skinning at the level 50, guys. If you remember in the previous episode, I told you we can move it all into the next tier after level 50. So we need only one more to go. So I might actually see if I can get that maxed out while we're out here. Stay away from that guy first, though. Alright. I don't want to aggro these guys right now. I'm going to stay away. If I come across any corpses, I'll just skin them then. Oop, centaurs. I don't want to screw with them. This wolf's chasing me, but he'll... Hey guys, apparently there was a huge server hiccup. Back on. Okay, where was I? So basically, I'm running towards Thunderbluff. I was talking about mini-map stuff, and I wanted you to see this is your actual full map, and this is the Mulgore map. As you can see, there's nothing on it. that's because I haven't discovered anything yet. So once I actually discover something... Okay, venture company to mine. So if you hit M again, you see part of the map is now filled up. I never talked about that before, I just realized that. So, yeah. You want to explore as much terrain as possible so you know where stuff is. At least I try to do that. And so I'm going to get attacked by everything on the way here, but that's okay. I'm making it toward those mesas out in the distance. So, Thunder Bluff is laid out very similarly to how Undercity is laid out. This central mesa here is like the trade mesa where they have like auctioneer, banker, X, Y, and Z, and these like peripheral mesas, the ones that they call off like kind of like satellites, are where your profession trainers and your I'm getting hit by everything here. Every animal in the world is hitting me right now. Your profession trainers and your class trainers are. So these peripheral mesas over here. And our weapon trainer is actually on one of those mesas too. We'll ask. Every major city has guards, just like Undercity, so we'll ask a guard when we get there which way we're supposed to be going. So yeah, I crashed for about 5 minutes, couldn't get back on the game. Apparently everything's fine now, just a little bit of a hiccup, so everything's good. That happens every once in a while in Warcraft, just something to deal with. So we're making our way to good old Thunder Bluff. I'm being attacked by lions and tigers and bears, oh my. That's just par for the course. So I'm going to kill one of these guys so I can skin them. I have to get my sword training up anyway, so... So you notice you only get a skill point when you actually make a contact with the animal or with your target. You don't get one if you don't. So let's see what I get here. Light leather. So yeah, I'm up to skinning equals 50 now, so I can train my skinning now. So to the next level. Sure, why not? I'm in defensive stance. Funny. Almost dead. Okay. Okay. So Thunder Bluff, as you can see, is elevated, guys. So the only way to actually get there is there's a elevator that takes you up to the top. So we'll get up there now. Ooh. Oh, they didn't loot them. Damn it. I like getting free skinning. It's nice. Alright, we've discovered Thunder Bluffs. If you go to your map, this is Thunder Bluff. There are 3 rises, or 3 mesas, and then the main mesa in the middle. And here are the elevators. Oh, there's a dead guy. He must have fallen off. That sucks. Let's pose for a shot in front of this giant totem, shall we? Cool. Just a little wave action. Yay. Okay. Alright, so the elevators are up here. Alright. Let's go to this one, because this one will come down sooner. There's two elevators. And this one just came down, so we'll get on this guy. This will take us up into the city. It's pretty cool. And guys, now we're now in Thunder Bluff. We made it. So here's a guard here. So let's ask him where the weapon master is. Weapons master. Oop, that's not the one I wanted. Lower rise. Oh, lower rise. So he's actually right here. Perfect. There he is. So right click, train me. Yay, guns. So we'll train that. And now we need to buy some, if we can find a general goods vendor. Here we go. If we get light shot, we need ammo. We can now open up our character sheet, get our gun, put it in our ranged slot, get the ammo, and put it in our ammo slot. And now we can use guns. So in order to use guns, you have to go to your spellbook and abilities, and you'll see it shoot gun. I'll put it here for now. And now we can literally shoot stuff. If there was a rat here, I'd show you. I don't see anything on the ground, but if there was, I'd show you. But the second thing we have to get here is we have to get the flight trainer, which is in this big totem thingy. So we'll go over here. Guns are great for tanking, because you can't use charge when you're tanking. So if you want to pull a monster away from other monsters, you have to use your gun to pull them. So here's this. Let's just see how much it's going to cost us. Oh, 50 copper. Yeah, we'll take that ride. Let me just make sure there's nothing else I need here. Let's just ride back. Why not? So we click our destination, and then boom, we're on a Wind Rider. So the orcs and the trolls and the Tauren use Wind Riders, while the undead use bats. So there's no difference between the taxis. They just look different. So now we're actually flying back to Org. ORG is short for Orgrimmar, just in case you didn't know. Now the good news is we never have to make that run from Orgrimmar to Thunder Bluff ever again, which is great. So, which is really cool. So we've covered talents. I think we did it pretty well. As we do more tutorials, I also want to stress, guys, is that I'm not going to be doing... These tutorials will still be happening, but they're going to be major event tutorials from now on. So we'll do party systems next time with JR, and then the next thing, you may see me level up a few levels. So I'm going to just be doing some grinding, which we won't be needing to cover anything new, because we've covered everything we had to cover until instances. Once we hit about 15 or so, I want to go to Ragefire Chasm and show you what a dungeon's like. So the next episode, I may not be level 10, I may be a little higher level. If you want to follow a character from 1 to 60, that's my Shaman project, Kurzog's Adventure. Those are some videos that I'm currently working on now. So if you want to follow from really start to finish the leveling process of a character, it's not really a tutorial, it's just experiencing the adventure with the character. Try out my Kurzog's Adventure episodes. They're pretty cool. I've only gotten one uploaded so far, but I'm working on the next ones soon. So we've actually covered a lot, and now I can finally take a little bit of a rest and just play a little bit. Of course, I'll record major things that happen. Maybe some funny things too. Maybe I'll have like a little bit of an outtakes video or something like that. So that'd be kind of interesting. All right, so we're flying through the Barrens now. As you see, this is our cursor here. We're flying through. We're going into Dorotar, and we're flying right into Orgrimmar. We're actually going to fly right into the city, so that'll be kind of neat. Okay, now we're flying into Dorotar. Or as soon as we cross this river is the border between the Barrens and Dorotar. This is the back gate of Orgrimmar. So we had that gate in the front, which is over here, and this is the back gate. And that's a Shar, that's a zone of Shar, and that's, oh god, why am I doing this? Ashenvale, over there. And now we're in Org. And we're flying into our Flight Master. So I'm not going to take the Zeppelin back, because I'm just going to hearth back, guys. It's a little easier for me. But before we go back, I want to find a leatherworking train. I actually know exactly where they are. It's in the drag. So we'll go there, and I'll show you what it's like to level up your professions to the next tier. So going with the talents really quickly, every time you level up, guys, this will blink. Just so you know, just to remind you that you have to spend the talent point. Anyway, I didn't mention that before. So there should be a leather merchant. That's cloth, and then leather should be right here. Yep, Kodo Hide Leatherworks. So if we go in here, let's open up our skinning. So if you see skills, skinning 50 of 75. Now watch this. There's a skinning trainer. Train me. Oh, five silver. I'm broke. Anyway, watch this 75. Now it's 150. Okay. You can always go to the next tier if you're within 25 points of the cap. So you see, when I was at 50, I can train because I was 25 points from 75. You can always go to the next tier. So now my max is 150. I can train again when I'm 125 skinning and get the next one, which is 225 max. Okay, so there are four things. So I learned, now I'm a journeyman skinner. Okay, I've gotten to the next tier. Anyway, it allows us to keep our getting skill points up, because if we didn't get that, we would be stuck at 75 and never gain any more points. We could still skin things, but once we've got no higher level animals, it would say, oh, you require skinning above 75, and we wouldn't have had that. So, all right, we're gonna hearth back to Tirisfal Glades, and I need to make some money because I am broke. So I'll probably spend some time running around looking for copper, looking for skinning, and just start selling some stuff in the auction house because I need to make some cash big time. Well, guys, thanks for watching part 8. Next time we're going to be doing party systems with JR, a friend of mine who's running a warlock, an undead warlock. So in the meantime, have a great one, have a great night, have a great day, whatever time of day it is where you are, and I would like to thank you again for taking this journey with me. Have a good one, guys. Oh yeah, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I'd like to talk to you guys. So let's wave back again. See ya.